Good morning, Lewis, and thanks very much for agreeing to come on and be the next podcast interviewee, and especially thanks a lot for coming to agree to do it face to face with that nightmare journey you've had from Ramsgate.
No, I appreciate being here and thank you for inviting me here.
So to start off with, Lewis, how did you get into gambling initially?
So I started, like a lot of people, when I was 16, 17. It was more of a social thing for football bets.
Yeah.
Funny enough, it was in Brighton when I first started gambling.
Right.
I used to go play football and then I wanted to be social afterwards. So
Yeah.
it'd be the silly 500 to 1 bets trying to get there.
The football accumulators.
Football accumulators, trying to get that big win out of 40 teams to get a draw.
Yeah.
Crazy when you think about it now. But I did that for 10, 15 years. No big bets. It was always small, no problems at all.
Quite enjoyable.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been in sales for 25 years, so a lot of hospitality, horse racing, evenings out at casinos, and I never gambled ridiculously. I'd gamble within my budget. What did start me was when I turned 30, I went to Vegas and I got into slots machines.
In Las Vegas?
In Vegas. When I went on holiday, I was absolutely fine. I spent what I had because I won quite a bit and I played that. But when I come back, a smartphone, my iPhone, it was all on my phone.
So your phone became your betting shop?
It became my life. It literally constantly on my phone, 24/7. And online slots just took me away. Free bets.
So literally, once you came back from Vegas, it all started. What was your family? Anyone in your family aware of that? What was your relationships?
No,
anyone aware?
No, I'm 45 now, 44, sorry. Yeah. And no one knew about my gambling until probably 2021, so only 4 years ago.
Wow. So you kept it hidden for that many years?
Secret. I think family and friends had a bit of an inkling, but never see it as a problem because as gamblers, we're good liars, good at sort of fronting it, and I was a salesman as well, so I was pretty good at that.
So you had the chat?
I had the chat, so I could tell the white lies.
When did you actually realise gambling had taken over your life?
So until I got arrested. So in 2020, I was arrested for fraud. I had a business in 2019. Started off okay, but I wasn't great with money. I gambled all my money, so I started to gamble with other people's money. And I was arrested 2020. It was when the officer put it all out in front of me. I was like, all right, I've got a problem. But I didn't know where to, again, I still didn't know where to turn. I didn't know who to talk to. So that's when I knew I had a problem, but I didn't know where to turn to. It took me 3-4 years to
So in the process of being arrested, obviously you start to realise the consequences of your actions then. And obviously there was no help or support when you were arrested, and no one was aware of any help or support.
No, because again, I was ashamed. I didn't know where to turn. I thought it was going to go away. I was told I'd be charged within 6 weeks. 6 weeks passed, 12 weeks passed. It went on and on. And then my family did find out because...
So you even when you got arrested and shot, and you knew you were going to be charged, you still kept it hidden?
Kept it.
And carried on in your own secret world?
Kept it, basically, I was ashamed. It was only when they tried to rearrest me at my mum's address. Then my brother were there, I wasn't there. So then that's when the family started to question what was going on.
So that must have been really tough for you those times, Lewis?
Yes, so I was living in Maidstone, at a different address to where they were looking to arrest me, and I tried to hand myself in, but the police turned me away, said, oh, don't worry, we're coming tomorrow morning. And I was like, that's crazy. You've just sent 4 police vans around to my mum's house to arrest me. I want to, I need help. I think I was looking for help at that time because I knew.
Sounds like you wanted an end to the whole scenario.
Hugely, it was a long time.
At that time, were you still chasing and trying to get out of gambling debts? And
I was still gambling, but not as much as I was. I was gambling a lot big numbers, all online slots, all on my phone, never in a bookmaker's, it was all online.
And did you gamble with one operator or did you manage to spread it?
About 50. Off the top of my head, I split them all between, I got banned from some because I won, so they, as they do, they ban you from
and never at any stage were any of the operators reaching out to you to say you might have a problem, what are you doing?
I had one of them, they reached out to me and said, are you aware how much you're gambling? I said yes, and they asked for a bank statement. Where I was working for myself, I adopted my bank statement and wage slip, sent it to them. They didn't even question it. They carried on. You get the pop-ups, but as a gambler, that
didn't make any difference.
It makes no difference to me. I was just clicking off, and then no bet limits. I was just in my own focused little world.
Let's hope going forward, Lewis, there's things afoot that hopefully people won't be allowed to lose that amount of money that obviously you lost without proper checks and etc. etc. But that remains to be seen. So you managed to keep it hidden, you moved on, you've got arrested, and how quickly were you then, what happened then?
So it took 4 years. So as I was saying, I was told 6 weeks I'd be charged.
Yeah.
A year went by, I still hadn't been charged. So it's not the sort of thing you want to chase up and say, am I being charged? Yeah. So I just tried to get on with life as best as possible with it hanging over my shoulders, which is quite tough because...
So during that time, were you still gambling, trying to get out of it? Or?
I was gambling, but I wasn't gambling nowhere near the money I was. I was gambling a lot less because...
So you'd suffered the consequences of gambling, you knew you were going to be charged at some stage.
Massively.
Still gambling, but not massively.
I had an 8-month period where I gambled stupid amounts of money. Then it died down because I stopped my business. Yeah.
So basically, you didn't really have the funds to gamble in the way you were.
No.
So and you didn't have the way to get hold of money that you'd got hold of before.
Exactly. I went back to a normal 9-to-5 job with a basic salary. So money had dropped down. So even though I didn't have a big pot of money, I still gambled whatever I had, whatever I could borrow. But it wasn't nowhere near to this
What
scale.
sort of money was involved, Lewis, if you want to tell us?
So I was doing like £1,000 spins. It started off with the free bets, 5 10p slots. Yeah. But I could be driving on the M25 and put automatic spins on for 50 spins at £1,000.
While you're driving?
Not even blinker. I might have won 5 figures, not even paid attention. And that's the scary thing about where I think.
So do you think it became just about the doing of it rather than winning or losing at some stage?
100%. First of all, it was about getting that big win to have a nice car, pay a few debts, and fund my business. Yeah. But once I got into that spiral, it wasn't even. I won that big amount. I won a lot of money, 5 figures. I took out half of it as a withdrawal. I think, do you know what? That's going to go there. I didn't put anywhere near that in, and I'll use the rest to carry on playing. Within an hour, I had to cancel the withdrawal to put it back in and then put more money.
So you're basically gambling to gamble, and gambling had really got hold of you.
Massively. The online slots was just.
So eventually, how did you find help? What happened? Did you eventually go to prison?
So yes, to make me stop. So in 2024, I got charged in May 2024, and I realised then I needed help. I'll be honest, at first I did think, it might help my sentencing.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But I went to GA first of all.
Yeah.
And then they put me in touch with you guys. Through GA.
That's good.
They referred you guys, but that's when I first got help. And I remember speaking to the lady on the phone with you guys. She was I can't remember her name, but I was just such a mess. I cried for probably the hour of the phone call. Yeah. She helped me put the blocks in place, and she understood. Yeah. And that was a huge weight off my shoulders, because I've been living with it for all this time, not told anyone.
And just being able to talk to somebody that understood where you were from
massive
really helped you a lot.
It changed my life actually, because there was, in between 2020 and 2024, there was a time I called Samaritans, and I brought a lot of drugs. I don't do drugs.
So you became very near to taking your own life in those days.
Massively, but I made a light bulb moment. I saw my son in the picture, and I was like, "Don't be an idiot," basically. So I stuck with it. I went to GA weekly, but again, that didn't really. That was just about offloading because I was facing prison. I had counselling with you guys 1-to-1, which again was great because Eamon, my counsellor, understood where I was and what I was going through.
Yeah.
He's seen it before, and he was really. I can't fault you guys. Hence why I said to you, I am a big advocate for you guys and the other charities that do the work.
That's good.
And I went to prison in January last year.
And how did that make you feel, knowing that you're in recovery, you seem to be doing well, you got your life back on track, and all of a sudden you're suffering the consequences 4 years later?
Yeah, so at first I was angry because, as you just said, I was getting my life on. I'd stopped. I was, I think, 12 months, 15 months gamble free then. I was starting to be more present, sort my finances out.
And well into recovery and thinking there was a way forward. Then
massively.
Bang.
And then, I got sentenced. I was angry.
How long did you get?
I got 18 months and I served 5. I got moved to 3 different prisons in that short time, so I could never get settled in somewhere. But I was angry because I was like, I've got my life back. But now I've had time to think. I'm a big believer things happen for a reason. And going away for 5 months, as hard as it was to be away from my son, he's only young, it's made me a lot stronger mentally and be able to make sure I never relapse, because my rock bottom took my freedom away.
Sure.
So it was tough. Never been in trouble like that before.
Was there any ongoing help and support in the prison system?
No, so that's what's crazy. It's you get tick boxes. Were you in the army? Are you an alcohol or drug user? If you tick those boxes, you obviously got the help. The only way you could get any sort of one-to-one help would be ticking those boxes, but then you get put in a box of alcoholics and drug addicts, which I didn't want to be in, especially in prison. It was a crazy world. So there's no help at all.
We actually do some work in sort of 15, 16 prisons across the east of England. What prisons were you in?
So I think you went in after. I was in Betknowmore, Rochester, and Stamford Hill.
Right.
So as I was leaving Stamford Hill, because I asked the new governor, why is there no help for gamblers? Because it's rife in prison. It's people gambling for a chocolate bar, for a coffee, as you know. Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, I don't know you're a gambler." I said, "Well, yeah, because there's no way of you asking."
So one of the things we've tried to do, and what obviously needs to be done throughout the whole system, because that's just not good enough, is it?
No, not at all.
Is what they need to ask that screening question. At least make sure it's associated with it. But let's hope we're going to be living in a much better world going forward, where at least they ask a question and some help and support will be available.
I hope so,
for
because
there's
so many people in there that are in there for not necessarily gambling, but gambling is part of their life, and they might have stolen. So it is a big thing. And I'm not defending people that are in prison. We deserve to be punished, and I'm accountable and responsible for my actions. But yeah, there's no help for gamblers. But
you've took the ball by the horns. You've really worked on your recovery. You've really come a long way. Once you were with us, we referred you into Reframe Coaching and Epic Restart. How was that for you?
Again, there's another sort of highlight of my year, basically. I'd done one-to-one coaching, and both my coaches had experienced what I experienced in prison. So it was just being able to be free to talk. They understood exactly what I was saying. No judgment, as most of the community is non-judgmental community. But they just really helped me. Epic more so. I had a bit of a bond with my coach, and I was lucky enough to be invited to one of their weekends away in October last year. And amazing to be with 40, 50 like-minded people. The work you guys do, Epic, Reframe, Betknowmore, GA, it's a credit to. It's a shame that you have to be here.
Yeah.
But I never knew about all this sort of stuff.
And let's hope going forward people are more aware. I mean, we're sort of all under the umbrella of what we call the National Gambling Support Network, and it's fantastic to hear. It's not fantastic to hear you apply it, but on your recovery journey, how you used everything available to you to put yourself in a really favourable position going forward. That's really sounds great.
And like now, for instance, I'm doing the peer aid Betknowmore one-to-one training to be able to give back that way. I attend GA still fortnightly, weekly to help others, and I've also started a community group to help recovering gamblers and their affected others, supporters that have helped them to get out and about and be recovered rather than just abstinent from gambling.
So going forward, once you complete your PRA training, the next time we hear of you may be that you're working with one of our clients, giving back some of your experience and helping someone get in the position you're in.
100%, potentially even our own charity. We've had a couple of people who are interested in that, so who knows? But as I said, big believer in things happen for a reason, and I'm meant to be in this space to, if I help one person not hit my rock bottom, then my purpose is served.
Tell me, do you still have any thoughts of gambling now?
I'd be lying if I said no. I live opposite of bookies. Again, that was never my thing. Yeah. Occasionally, you see, I watch a lot of football, sports. There's so many adverts on there nowadays, and you just think, oh, what was that? But then it takes me about 10 seconds to think, no, don't. Where it takes me, there are people who can gamble and enjoy it and responsibly. I'm not one of those people, unfortunately. So I know it's no good for me.
Sounds like you're really committed to recovery, and that sounds great, Lewis, for your future. Tell me a little bit about the community you've created now, or you're in the process of creating.
Yeah, so me and a fellow friend from GA, after my weekend away with Epic, I was amazed how many people, 3 or 4 years in recovery, don't socialise, don't get out and about, they keep themselves hidden. I've never been that way myself. I'm always out and about and sociable, but we want to create a space where we can get people to come and just be with like-minded people, not talking about gambling. It's just to be out in the fresh air. So we've done 3 walks in the last 6 weeks. We've had 15 to 20 turn up, and each one we've had one person say, I'm glad this was available today because I was in a bit of a hole. So we plan to grow. We want to help as many people as we can, working with you guys, referring people to you, and just, I'd say, we're called Good Mind Circles for a reason, because it's not inclusive, it's there to help everybody.
Well, it sounds a fantastic story. The story seems to be going on, and the fact you really want to give back and you're trying to create different things for this cohort of people sounds absolutely wonderful. Tell me, to finish up with, what would you say to anybody listening to this affected by gambling harms that isn't quite sure what to do?
You're not alone. We are all individual and we have our own stories, but it's the similarities in all of our stories. So reach out. If you GA, Breakeven, Betknowmore, Epic, there's so much help out there. Just talk. Don't let it build up. It will get better. I've been in prison. My life is the best it can be. Financially, I'm hands are tied, but I am the happiest I've ever been that I remember. So just talk. You're not alone. Things will get better if you want that recovery.
Lewis, it's an absolute pleasure doing this podcast with you, and I wish you all the well for the future.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
If you or someone you know is affected by gambling related harm, please call us on 01273 833 722 or visit our website www.breakeven.org.uk. Alternatively, please call the National Gambling Helpline on 0808 8020 133. Please ensure to like and subscribe to all our social media channels and keep this message out there. Thank you.